Welcome back. It is round 2 of the National Finals Rodeo. It is day 2 of the Top 15 Challenge. I'm Kendra Dixon. I'm so excited about today. I know I say that every day. We're going to make history today in the Top 15 Challenge because you have an opportunity to learn from Riley Webb, the one and only first National Finals qualification, but this is technically not your first National Finals. This young man is going to set history in so many ways, and you have an opportunity to watch him right now in Top 15 Challenge. We're so grateful because we get to spend time with you. So, because I know, like, looking ahead into your future, it's always been bright, Riley, but I'm just super stoked for you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, you're just amazing. So let's get started. Let's tell the story. You placed 4th in the round last night.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What did it feel like being here? And tell us a little bit about your history at the NFR.
So I got the trick rope at the NFR when I was 9, 10, 11 years old. So that was a pretty cool experience. But I've always wanted to rope at the NFR. I always grew up having a dream of rodeo and then making the NFR and doing this. I set out at a young age and worked for it and finally got it done. We rookie this year. We won the rookie of the year, and to make the NFR rookie was pretty special. And first night, I prayed about it and asked God to give me strength and wisdom. And right before the calf roping started, I was like, I should be a little more nervous than I am, but God just gave me strength, and it was a little late to start, but we made a really good run, and 12,000 the first one of the week. If we can keep that going, that'll be real great for the 10th round. But just blessed to be here and do the best I can and give it all I got. Give God all the glory.
You've always done a great job at that. So a little bit about your history. When's the first time you remember holding a rope?
The first time I remember holding the rope, I know I roped my first calf at 6 years old. So I don't remember the day, but we do have it on video. So I do remember roping my first calf, but I don't remember. Oh, I guess at Lazy E, I was riding my pony around Little Red at Roy Cooper's roping. So that was before then, but probably 4 years old is probably when I remember, roping and riding the pony around. Started roping then.
And so tell us about your dad, your mom, your family. So you didn't exactly grow up in the middle of the city. So they actually, like, you've grown up in the arena dirt.
Yes, ma'am. So mom and dad put on calf roping and junior roping and stuff, and dad managed the arena there in Denton for about 4 or 5 years. So I was going to elementary school there, and I was playing baseball too, and we lived at the arena there, so he always had, barrel races, team ropings, everything going on. So I was there every day and seeing that. I didn't really get to rope much then. We were so busy and doing that, and then dad quit working there, and we thought we moved back to our other place in Denton, and then that's when I started kind of roping and getting into it. And about 11 or 12 is when I really, got in it and wanted to pursue it. We started going to more ropings, and then it just took off from there.
Why is it important for someone to have a coach?
A coach, well, it's important to have a coach just to have support. Dad's been very helpful for my career, from just everything around, just giving me the opportunities, having that job and doing what he did. He didn't start roping until he was 20-something years old, so he didn't, rodeo or rope that much, but he roped a little bit and kind of just was always in the industry. But I kind of figured out, roping on my own, really, trial and error and watching other guys, and always when the roping's out there at the arena, always watching, see what people did, the tack they had, and why they did that and why they did this, to kind of learn and make my own style. So that was very helpful to have that, there, so I could see everybody and see what they did and what they didn't do.
you're definitely born into the right family
Yes,
at the
ma'am.
right time in the right location.
Yes, ma'am. Very blessed.
Why do you think horses and cattle have been so fascinated to you? Because you have studied. And so, little side note about Riley, we live in the same hometown. Like, our whole community is so happy for Riley. We're all so proud of you because we've been blessed to watch you grow up. And even though you've had an opportunity to rope a lot and witness a lot, and you've still worked. So let's talk about that work ethic. 5 years old,
Yeah, I
he
do
would get
remember
up
that
at
now.
5 a.m. 5 a.m. How many kids do you know will get up at 5 a.m., catch a ride to the ranch with one of my interns, and you came and worked for us, and it was freaking hot in the summer. And he's a kid. And I'm like, Riley, go catch that horse. Riley, take this horse to the wash rack. Riley, go warm this horse up for me. Wow, the work ethic. Why did it fascinate you? Does it ever feel like work?
No, I mean it is, but it isn't. I mean, because that's what I do for a living, so that's how I, make money. But no, if you love something that much and you do it every day, it's not work to me. It's just I don't know. It's not a hobby. It's a life, but it's just I love it, and I would not want to do anything else. I love to rope and love to be around horses, and I just love the industry and everybody in the industry. It's different, and you're not going to find it in any other sport.
Well, I was just so impressed by that. I mean, at such an early age, being willing to work, getting up very early. In Texas, it is hot. Not fun work. I mean, riding horses, that's fun, but it ain't all fun. He's been bucked off more than once in my house.
First day,
Unintentionally.
actually. First day, actually.
It didn't exactly go as planned. I mean, I didn't purposely put him on a horse that was going to buck. One time, it was my fault because my daughter Kaden, that was her summer job. She would like fit a pony. She would spend time with it, and we had past little ponies everywhere. And there were other girls. Emily and Megan would come out too, and so we had 4, 5, 6 kids working in the barn that summer. And I remember putting you guys on a pony, and one kid was going well, so I thought, well, we'll put 2 on there. And then I thought, well, let's make it a record. And I think I had Riley sitting on the rump of the horse facing backwards, that little pony in the front yard. Do you remember
I
that?
don't remember that.
Well, the pony said, I've had enough. And he bucked all 3 kids off, and the kids are flying everywhere. And I was trying to video.
I do remember that now. Yeah.
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 And you,
There's a video somewhere.
I think you laughed. You were fine, ready
Let's
to
do it again.
Yeah. And Kaden, my daughter, is wailing, and I'm like, is there blood or is anything broken? And she was just so mad. She was embarrassed.
Probably because we got it on video.
Got it on video. I need to go back to those files. But you've never like said no. Like I've called on you so many times over the years. Like, Riley, I really need help with an interview. Yes, ma'am. What time would you like me there? Riley, I need help with this horse. Riley, I need help hauling this. And you just have such a generosity about you and such an incredible work ethic. The sport and the whole world needs more people like Riley Webb.
Thank you. I'm very blessed to just do what I love to do every day and try to help others. And I think that's going away in our world. People don't want to help others and want to be selfish. So I think if we can keep that in the younger generation and keep that going, that it could help the world.
I remember one time we had Race for a Reason, and that was a benefit barrel race for Rodeo for a Reason, which is a ministry. It's a 501c3. And you set up a card table, and you went home because it was like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday race. You went home and baked cookies, and you sold them, and you gave all the money to Rodeo for a Reason. And I knew that your mom didn't make you do that because you actually I have a picture of your like hand-drawn poster selling cookies. Why did you do that?
I don't know. I just probably ate a couple cookies.
You ate as many as you sold. Oh gosh, those are just great memories though.
We've had fun, and we've all helped each other, and just blessed to be here and blessed to help others.
So tell us about like little kids now that you are older,
Yeah,
right?
I
So now you're in
know.
the pro rank. You're not a little anymore. So, do you have an opportunity to coach others?
Not really, coach. I mean, I help, when I can, and when people come rope and stuff. But we've been busy the last couple months. I've had a couple little kids come over and rope, but we've been so busy here. But I think after the first year, we might do a school and stuff. So that's exciting.
Sweet. Well, we'd like to video it, put it in the library.
That'd
That's
be
so
awesome.
hot. So, what's the biggest challenge for a kid who's learning how to rope? What's the hardest thing to figure out?
Probably how to handle the rope. Everybody wants to be so opinionated on how they should do it and stuff. I think that they should just, do it themselves, figure it out. Because nobody can tell you until you figure it out yourself. I mean, they can tell you all they want, but until you get your hands on it and do it yourself and trial and error and figure it out, it's not going to be the same. So just don't ever give up. I think there's a lot of good and bad coaching, but not bad coaching. I mean, but just
stuff that doesn't
different
work for you.
opinions. Yes, it could be the right thing, but not work for you. So just trial and error and figure it out yourself, and don't ask questions. Ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. The answers you might not like, but just take it with a grain of salt and think if that really works for you and try it out.
So, was there a time where you asked a question and someone gave you their opinion and you were surprised how well it worked? You had to change your mind to do it their way?
I couldn't think of a time right now,
Mhm.
but I bet so. I bet there was a time for sure. I can't think of one right now.
But I'm sure, I mean, obviously to get here, you have a signature style. You have a move and a timing that is just Riley Webb's.
It's just muscle memory now. I've ran, thousands of calves since, not even real calves, roping the dummy, tying the dummy since I was a little kid in the living room thinking I was at the NFR. I mean, it's just muscle memory from, roping the dummy at a little age, roping calves, practicing to watching videos. It's just muscle memory now. It's just have fun now and just stick to the basics. It's all you need to do.
So good. So good. So let's talk a little bit about ADM. So ADM Feeds, that's a new sponsor for us at Top 15 Challenge in Stall High. So I'm very excited for the opportunity to learn more about their feeds. I've heard a lot about ADM through Matt Reeves. He's our coach every Monday in the Stall High Interactive Mentorship Program. How long have you been with ADM?
I've probably been feeding this since I was about 12 years old. I got hooked up with Tony Ballinger and we got going, and ever since then, they've been great to me, and I've tried to be great to them, and their feed's been great to my horses, and we haven't had any problems. They've been a blessing to me. The horses are, feel great, look great, and think they have all what I need for my horses, and it's a great company.
So you actually started pouring feed in the bucket and feeding your own horses.
Yes.
About that time, right?
Yes, ma'am.
11, 12 years old.
Yes, ma'am. When we were at Diamond T out there, the horses I only had like 1 or 2 horses, and Dad took care of them over there at the barn. And then when we moved back, it's when I kind of, we got hooked up with ADM, and I started taking care of them.
Mm-hmm. So which feed did you feed most of?
I started off with the senior glow. So I had some older horses. The senior glow I fed for quite a while, and then about a year or 2 years ago, probably a year and a half ago, switched over to the power glow. Have some not younger, but 14, 15-year-old horses that switched over to the power glow, and that's been great also.
So what difference do you notice between the feeds, or do you notice any difference?
I don't notice any difference. They're fat and slick. Their coats and clothes, everything looks good. I can tell when I get one in that hasn't been on ADM feed, when I start feeding it to them, how they start shedding hair, the hair and slicking off and getting fuller. So I couldn't tell a difference from feed to feed, but I could tell from a different feed to ADM feed.
Mm. And what was that? What difference did you feel or see?
Just they got fat slicked off. They put on weight a lot faster.
Ah, okay. Well, what I like is that you didn't notice a change in their mentality.
Yes.
Because I am so skeptical of feeds, and I talk about it all the time in our training program and our online clinics. I've had such bad experience with feeds, changing the minds of horses and making them too amped up and too jittery that I don't trust flashy bags, right? And I've been listening to Matt talk about ADM all year, so I'm like, is this brand going to change my mind?
Yeah, hopefully it does because it's been great to me, and I don't need my horses to get hyper. I need them to score good, and you know I leave my horse in my run. I get off and leave him back there by himself. So I need him to not be hyper and be paying attention. So a lot of trust goes into my horse, and he's not hyper. So that's very very good.
You can feel it, like because you've ridden a lot of horses in your lifetime. You can feel that tremble. We call it like the shake under the hood. You can feel that in a horse, can't you?
You definitely can. If one's gonna score bad or feel like he's gonna run off when you get off of it, but
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Just level mind. That all goes from what you're feeding them to how you're practicing on them to everything. Every little thing goes into how that horse is gonna react to you.
Yes. He's a horseman. Are y'all picking that up right there? That's why we love having you on camera. So you've already told me, like I was gonna ask you, my next question was about a horse's personality, and he's already answered that. Riley, let's talk about rodeo as a business. So you're one of the first people I know personally who purchased their own pickup at 16 years old. And I'm not talking about, a good old trusty pickup like, save your money, $6,500 and buy a truck. No, tell us about your first truck.
First truck. So there was a big roping in Louisiana. It was a big as a 10 header. So they made it a kind of like try to make it like the NFRs, 15 and under and 19 under roping. And the fees were high, and it paid really, really good. And I told Mom, it was in August, I just turned 16. I told her, I said, I'm going to win that roping, and we're going to go buy a truck after, or a down payment on the truck at least. But I won that roping, and we went the next day, and Bill Fick Ford down there in Huntsville, Texas, got us, got hooked up with him, and we got a truck. So I've been Bill Fick ever since then so far, but that very blessed in that
That's a
at
big
15,
commitment.
16 years old to be able to do that.
That's a
very,
huge
very
commitment. Like sign your name to a truck, even though Mom probably had to sign for you. You have to pay for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So who helps you with the bookkeeping and balancing your accounts?
Mom helps me with that, and I keep up with the rodeos. So like I got a notebook. I write down the fees and where I was at, what my time was, and how much I won at that rodeo. But in fuel and stuff. But Mom kind of helps me with all the other bookkeeping and that stuff. But the rodeos and stuff I have, and I got a notebook and I keep track of all that.
Who helped you navigate the entry system?
Just Seth Emerson helped me a little bit, just telling me how it worked. Because when online entries just kind of started when I started too. So really, if you just pay attention and read everything, it explains itself. But really, just reading when the book's open, when the book's closed, and at that time, I was figuring out I was on my permit when I need to have my card bought for the new year and be eligible to go, try to get to San Antonio, Houston. And I didn't make them to that, but just had to have your paperwork turned in by then and stuff. But kind of just reading it, and I entered a lot of rodeos when I bought my permit. So and I turned 18 in August, bought my permit, and the season ends in September. And there was 15 Texas rodeos left for the circuit finals, and we went to all 15 and ended up making the circuit finals on my permit last year. So that was pretty cool. And then for the new year. Bought my card, and it was pretty slow in the winter time. And then about end of June was good. We won Reno and Greeley, and then July was very slow. I think I won 4 checks in July, and then August, September in the Northwest were just amazing. The weather was great. Everything was just clicking. We won a lot of money, but entry system, you just got to kind of pay attention, and it's pretty simple if you are on top of it.
There's so many people out there, not just young people, that get frustrated, like they get overwhelmed, and you're kind of like me. You'd rather be in the saddle than on the laptop, because I know, like, you didn't necessarily enjoy having to go to school, did you?
No,
You don't love reading, do you?
no, man.
So for somebody who enjoys reading and can process stuff like that, you would think, oh, well, he's just gifted in that. That's probably easy for him. No,
No, I mean,
you have to make yourself. What I'm trying to get at is that he has taken responsibility for his own career at an early age.
it's
I
different
know
than going
his
to
school
school,
history.
but that's
Yeah.
something to go to. That's something to do for roping. You can't, it's different. I went to school to I was in 3rd grade, and then me and mom homeschooled for the rest of the time. And then in high school, I went to White Horse Christian Academy, the distance program in Stephenville. That they were very great and worked with my schedule, and that was good. But I didn't enjoy going to school and doing that, but it wasn't bad. I didn't dislike it, but I like to enter myself and keep track of all that. That's enjoyable.
I think young people at home need to hear that from you, though. Like, oh, well, that's hard. I'll just get my mom to do it. No, you've done it. Even though you're not necessarily a bookworm, I'm not either. So I can remember you showing up. You met me at Loco Cafe one morning to help me. That was back when I was hosting Women's Pro Rodeo Today, and I'm like, I'm not a roper. I've got to finish the show and do voiceover, but I don't necessarily know how to describe what's happening. So Riley met me at the cafe, and he had homework to do that day. So, I mean, I just think that's cool that you personally take responsibility to educate yourself. You don't let somebody else make decisions for you or spoon feed you the information. You get it done.
You got to ask questions, and you have to, it's not that I just did it all on my own. I asked questions to figure it out, but you can't get stressed out about it, because in pro rodeo, it's going to change 9 times out of 10 before you can write it down on paper how I'm going to get up here, how I'm going to get up here, and that's going to be perfect. It never works out like that. So you got to have a backup plan, and don't get frustrated when you get popped to turn out somewhere. You just got to figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to try to get traded and go on to the next.
Cool. All right. This has been wonderful. Absolutely awesome. The last thing I want to ask you about is the diesel and dev stretcher.com. So when he sat down here in our Merhout today, he was like, oh, hey, I'm part of this, right? So, which I think is really cool. How did you find out about this product that helps us save fuel and not have to buy so much stuff?
At Caldwell, Idaho, Jake Pratt he just got started on it, and he ropes calves too. He's from Ellensburg, Washington. He got me started on it, and I got it in the mail, and I tried it out a little bit, but now I'm definitely gonna go try it out and figure it out more. But I kind of we were gone for the summer, and it come to the house while I was gone, and all my stuff was piled up that I got since I was gone, and it kind of got overlooked. But I'm excited to figure it out and get going on that.
Yeah, my first trip, like, I don't see the numbers changing yet on my mileage, and then honestly may not, because I feel more power in my truck. So I could feel it the first trip, and I went to Henderson, Texas. If I have an opportunity to get to know a horse, I know my horses. I know what my horses feel like. I know their personality. I know my truck. I've owned it for several years. So for me to immediately feel a difference in my truck, I'm sold on it.
It's awesome.
I will pay the extra fuel money to have the power. And not that, I mean, I do have a little bit of a heavy foot. Not in traffic. In traffic, I'm super careful with my horses in the trailer. But there are some times, and I remember pulling on to 20 headed to Henderson, and there's sometimes when you kind of have to move. And when you are pulling weight, you have to navigate. Yeah, you can get stuck. And again, I'm watching the clock. Okay, I want to get there. So I like having the extra power, knowing that's there when and if I need it. And if I want to let off the gas pedal, I'm going to save somebody. So yeah, I'm excited for you to use it more and let us know what you think.
Yes, thank you.
Oh man, one more thing. This is so cool. It's so cool. So let's rewind the clock a little bit. Your first American rodeo, what year was it? 2020? Or is it 2019? It's 2019. Did you make
Yeah,
it
2019. Sorry.
You made it 18. Say, sorry, let's let this. Sometimes we have a lot of background noise, guys, because it is Las Vegas. Let's let this really loud motorcycle be on. Because I want to tell a story and I want people to hear it. Okay. Lori, go step out the back door. Yeah. Our little team tiny T Lori's gonna step out the back of this car. Move it. Sounds like a lawnmower right outside our trailer.
Something. It sounds different from what we've had.
There they go. She scared them all.
Yeah, and they're leaving. Go, Lori. She's out there going, turn that off. Okay, so American semifinals. I saw you there. We took a picture together. Next thing I know, you have made it to the big field here at AT&T, and like, wow, what was it like roping it?
That was crazy. That was got to rope for $1 million. We didn't do it, but just to have that opportunity, and that's wonderful. I've got to rope for $1 million quite a few times since then. It hasn't never worked. It hasn't been in God's plan, but just the opportunity to have chance at life changing money. That's unbelievable. Especially our sport's growing that good. Or used to it just was the American. You get to rope once a year, and everybody had a shot at it. Now with the WCRA and everything else, there's a chance, couple chances every year. So that's crazy. I mean, I'm 19 years old, and I probably got to rope for a chance at $6 or $7 million. So that's that's awesome.
That's crazy cool. Yeah, that's amazing. So you had just roped. We were so excited for you. Like, it was just so cool to see Riley Webb on the big screen at AT&T. And I was working in the press room, right? And we're standing there, and I hear people going, psh, I'm like, that's who? And I look up, and it is Kid Rock. Like, from me to the door of that murder house right there, and I'm like, it's Kid Rock. And so everybody was afraid to approach him, and he's about to step onto an elevator. So I had this microphone, and I run, and I throw it in his face, and he was so gracious, so kind. He took a moment to talk about it, and he goes, yeah, I love the rodeo, and I love Texas. And I think he said something like, I used to love watching the Broncos. He called them Broncos. And he goes, but I really was digging on the roping, the calf roping. And I said, really? I said, did you see that young man rope today, Riley Webb? And he said, yeah, I did. He roped an 8-4. Did you rope an 8-4?
I don't remember.
I think you did. So nobody fed him that information. This all happened like within 90 seconds. He remembered your time. He remembered you. He looks in the camera. This is the Kid Rock. And he goes, yeah, I believe that kid's got a really bright future. Wow. I mean, how many ropers like in the world, right, get outside attention like that? That's just that's cool.
It's very cool.
He called it. He was prophesying your future. Kid Rock. That's just awesome. Well, thank you so much.
My uncle freaked out that day. He's a big Kid Rock fan. He saw it on Facebook from me. He's like, you see Kid Rock?
Yeah.
No, but so I went and watched the video. He's like, yeah, you need to go find him.
I think we need to get him to the national finals, and you guys need to interview together, and we'll stream it through Stall High. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Does anybody have a question for Riley before we shut her down and land this plane? If you have not entered Top 15 Challenge yet, there's still time. Go to top15challenge.com. So thankful. We have awesome prizes. We have awesome sponsors. You're going to have an opportunity to win this saddle, which is sponsored by Tennessee Real Properties. If you're looking for horse property in Tennessee, our friend Stephanie Cross, that's your girl. Merhow Trailers. We love Merhow. We're coming at you live from a Merhow trailer that is parked in the valet section at the Plaza Hotel in Las Vegas. Why Merhow? Why Plaza? Why ADM feed? Because of the people. Why Tennessee Real Property? Because Stephanie Cross. She loves the industry. She loves horses. She loves horse people, and she serves the horse community in excellence, as well as all of our amazing partners and sponsors. Running Rose Performance Horses, Jake Whitman, Performance Farrier, Diesel and DevStretcher.com, American Hat Company, LifeEnthusiast.com, and Lanyard Bit. That's our own right there, Lanyard Bit. So if you want a discount on Lanyard Bit, go to top15challenge.com. We have one question coming in right at the last second. Good for you, because you got into the Cactus Gel Pad Extreme Gel Pad VIP Pass. Smart upgrade.
How do you stay so motivated even at such a young age?
Motivated. They give so much money, and I'm only going to get to rope for a certain part of my life. And, you just live every day to be the best you can. I love what I do, and can't be I wouldn't want to do anything else. So wake up every day. I love to rope, love to be around horses, and that's just how I stay motivated. Just every day, live for every day. You're not promised tomorrow.
Okay, so here's your homework. If you were in the Top 15 Challenge already and you've already signed in, I want you to tell me at least one thing. So go do your homework, and this counts for all of these other prizes. There are only 10 of these Top 15 edition stall high trucker caps. So only our VIP, Cactus VIP members get a chance to win this. Everybody in Top 15 Challenge gets a chance to win the saddle. But if you want a chance to win the stall eyes, the lanyard bit, the trucker caps, we've got some really awesome custom Montana silversmith pieces of equipment here on display. Wink, wink. I want you to go do your homework. So tell me at least one thing that impressed you about Riley Webb. And then I want you to list one thing that you would like to learn from Riley if you had an opportunity. So if, I'm not even gonna say if, when we constrain the clinic for you and people have an opportunity to learn from you in person or online, we like streaming live online and having our mentorship program every night of the week, because it gives us more time with people so that it's repeated. You learn a little bit every day rather than trying to cram 20 years of learning into 2 days, right? What's one thing you would want to learn from Riley? What's one thing you have faith that he could teach you? It doesn't have to be about roping. It could be about bookkeeping. It could be about school. It could be about mental focus. It could be about fitness. It could be about faith. It could be about getting your horse to stand quiet in the box, or how to fit him and sell him and make a profit. He does that too. So tell us what's one thing you want to learn from Riley, and in the next video, we'll talk more about prizes and who's going to win them. Thank you so much for being part of Top 15 Challenge. Riley Webb, we're in your corner, man.
Thank y'all.
Best of luck
Appreciate it.
tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.